Welcome to Waxworks. All right, I'm Dale. I'm gonna sit down and look at some of the older games that I made a couple of years ago. Basically made them and I haven't thought about them since. So I thought it'd be fun to go back and look at them and read them. So I found the document and I'm gonna try to play a game. See how confusing I can be to myself. There. So this is Go Golf. I remember I hijacked Jason's big country universe and set it in that time period. Thus, the art is more centered around the 20s, 30s, 40s area. Dedicated to Bree. All right. How to build a big country golfer. This is roll a d6. I've got this dicey stuff roller on the page here so you can see the rolls played out, and I'll type everything over here as we go, as we play it. So, don't know if I'll do 9 or 18 holes, but depending on how slow my typing is and how fast my play is. All right, roll a d6. Result of 1 to 4, you're a power pro golfer. And you use a d6. If the result is 5 or 6, you're a green king. So you get a lighter touch, you're more, better on the green, as opposed to your typical Happy Gilmore golfer. So I'm gonna roll that d6, find out what kind of a golfer I am, or my avatar is, rather. All right, 5. Looks like I'm a green king. So I'll be using a d4 on the course here. Give them a name. All right. I know I got names in here somewhere. How to play country clubs. Looks like I used Jason's cities and put golf clubs in there. All right. All right, Green King golfers. So, Nelson Krankovich. All right. That's who I'll be. D4 golfer. That's Green King. All right. Oh, Krankovich. All right. All right. We design them. This is our draw from the players' country clubs. I wonder if I got I think I do got. No. I just drew from the country clubs. I do not have the big country name generator on here. Which maybe I got it somewhere in my files, but not enough room to slap it on here right now. All right, so we built our golfer, Nelson Krankovich, D4 Green King. And, well, this is interesting because he's from, let's see where he's from. His clubhouse is the Over Club. The course is the Terrapin Greens. Okay, so that's where I'll be playing Terrapin Greens. All right, because all the courses are here. So this is the course I'll be playing, front 9 and the back 9. All right, so all right. Hit the greens, typical 18 courses, 18-hole courses. Have 4 par 3s, 10 par 4s, and 4 par 5. It's typical. Design your own list in any sequence you prefer, name the green, etc. if you want to build your own. Optional additions to the course. Certain holes can be marked with a modifier plus or negative modifiers alongside their die. Well, I'm not going to do that because right now I could add a modifier, but I don't know how. Yeah. That's a little bit elevated. I'll leave that off right now since I'm trying to remember. This abstractly represents various factors that might affect any specific hole. Examples of speed of the green, excessive hazards, weather, etc. Effect of difficulty of each hole. Or play on the Go Golf Big Country Golf Course selections. Boom. Okay. Now you can alter each hole similarly with the Big Country courses too, with supplied spaces to notate the changes. So yeah, if we wanted to roll up randomly, like Terrapin Greens, I said is where I'm going to be playing, and then the course. So these spaces right here, we can put negative or positive modifiers, and you would roll the dice to find out if it was negative or positive per hole. And whenever you're rolling, you would adjust the die, the whole die, because I remember this mechanism. Okay, how to play Go Golf. Okay, play your first hole by rolling your golfer die and hole die together. All right, I might have to do that separately because I don't know how to roll two die at the same time. So on here, it'll still work. We just compare the two. But if you had just two dice to roll out, you could just look at them and compare immediately. So this will be a little bit slower. So I may just do 9 holes, the front 9 or so. Come back for the back 9 later with Mr. Nelson Krankovich. All right. Okay, you roll them together. If the golfer die result is less than the hole die result, they make the hole within par. 0 scored. If the difference being the count between the two results, subtracting one result from the other will show the difference, is less than par for that hole, then it's a birdie. So okay, if the difference, I could have said that a little bit better, but I get what I meant after the fact. It's funny when you look at rules later on, 2 years later. Okay, this means that whenever I'm rolling, like I said, I'll be rolling my dice of 4, and a lot of these holes here on the courses says for the first hole you roll a D10. So the whole dice for that hole would be a D10, and I'd roll a D4. If I roll under it, let me see, back up here. If the golfer die is less than the hole die result, they make the hole within par. So 0 scored. Okay, so if the golfer dies, say let's say 6 or 7, and I hit a 4, I rolled less, I made par. If the difference is less than par for that hole, then it's a birdie. All right, so if the difference between the two dice is less than par for the hole, like if it's par 5, but the difference between my golfer dice and the hole dice is less than the par for the hole, then he gets a birdie. So if par is 5, and let's say in my example, I rolled a 4 and he rolled a 7, well, that's the difference of 3 between the two. 3 is less than the par for that hole is 5, so I would get a birdie. That's how that works. And I give you examples here. Well, I should have just read that right out. 2 or less difference on par all 3. So if you get 2 or less, par 3, it's a birdie. 3 or less on a par 4, which was my 4 or less, which my example was 3 on a par. The difference of 3 on a par 5 hole. That's a birdie. So you just look at the difference. if it's underneath what the hole says for the course, par 4, par 3, par, 4, 4, 5. Actually, the first hole would be a par 4. So, yeah, on that difference from 7 to 4 in my example, that'd have been 3, so that would have been a birdie. If in fact it was rolled. So, if both numbers match, and it doesn't matter, if both numbers match, this is an eagle. You get -2. So either you're getting par, birdie with -1, or an eagle -2. We're not doing albatrosses, and obviously, Anyway, if the golfer dice is higher than the hole dice result, then the minimum at +1 bogey occurs. So if my 4 and that D10 would have rolled, a par 4 D10 would have rolled like, say, a 3, and I would hit a 4, it would have been less than my golfer dice. My golfer would have been way off, right? And you get a +1 for a bogey. If the golfer die is 2 times the hole die result, it's a double bogey. All right. So I know it gets hard, since I got light touch, that let's say if I rolled a 4 and then the hole dice, the D10 rolled a 2, then I got twice as many on the results. It's 2 times, 4 and then 2. So I got a +2 on that one, or I would have. If it's 3 times or more, it's triple bogey. Obviously, if the whole dice rolls a 1 and I roll a 4, it's 4 times as much. Granted, that's on the lower end of the dice because the golfer dice is a low dice, so it's less of a chance of happening, which these are pseudo-professionals, but the crap does happen and golf is hard. All right. Note, when a bogey occurs, the number of the die will give the reasons why. It's funny I put this on here because I usually do that in sports games. You'll see it in Flashpoint and in breakaway hockey. It's like the numbers will represent the positions. And you can assign them, kind of who did what, Anyway, proceed to the next hole after the golfers have completed the hole. Continue play until the entire course is complete. Tabulate scores, blah, blah, blah. Okay, 72 is the average par for these courses. Of course, if you end up making a different stroke count, then it's, it is what it is. All right. So now we got that down. All these clubs. I said the Flyers, located in Central City. This home course is called, I ain't read this until the Nines. And this clubhouse is the 19th hole. Membership has its privileges as its motto. It seeks out only the best from within and without its local borders. Top standing Stanley Butterfield, Donnie Greenwald. Okay. The Mid-Iron Club is located in Middletown. Mid and Middletown. Get it. Wait a minute. This course is called Terrapin Greens. What did I say? All right. I thought it was the Over Club. Oh, yeah, the Over Club is the clubhouse. All right. So I'm part of the Mid-Iron Club. All right. Nelson Krankovich is. We're at Terrapin Greens. We get an Over Club. Slogan is, we get our iron in. Get through it, get over it. The grass is always greener on the course. Members refer to each other as Iron Men and women. Cool. Okay, well, that's where Nelson Krankovich is from. And that's where he's playing right now. It's Terrapin Greens. I'm not going to read the rest of them, but yeah, it's pretty funny looking at what I put down, 2 years later. What I haven't seen it, so you get to read it. and delight in it. Anyway, and it looks like I've got green queens, and this is the Country Club Women's League members. Okay, women pro players and green queens. Okay, gotcha. So courses were the Terrapin Greens here. We're going to do the front nine. All right, the first hole is a par 4 target. Okay, I'm going to have to lengthen this out and then, oh, no, I'm not. Leave it right here. I'm not going to delete it. But what I'm going to do is roll. I will roll. I guess I'll roll the D10 first. Oh, geez. No, it looks like I'm going to have to. Oh, there it is. I figured it out. You just right click on it. Okay. So I'm going to roll a D10 for the hole, and then I'll roll my D4 for Nelson Krankovich. Like I said, you roll those at the same time. You just look at it, and once you play the game for a little bit, it'll be pretty much instantaneous with the knowledge of what just happened. So he goes on the first hole, this par 4. D10. We're going to roll the D10 first, see how that feels. Come on, D10. Roll it, and we get an 8. Okay. So we got an 8. I'm going to write this down. Okay. First, 8. And Nelson Krankovich. Who's rolling a D4 is going to roll a 3. Okay, there's a 5 difference. We see that automatically. I did roll under him, but I didn't get so close to that number of what the hole is that I could make par. I made it par, but I didn't get so close, or what I mean, in distance between them two. You have to get uncomfortably close to the die to be able to hit a birdie or an eagle. You get me? And you got to get right on it. I mean, you got to get right on it, get an eagle. Okay, so what I made on that one was par. I'm just going to put equals 0. Hole. And let's see. The second hole is a par 3, which is a D8. Come on, D8. There you go. Throw a hole, and it's a 7 still. It looks like I'll make par on this, obviously, because I'm not going to get close to it because it's staying up in that upper area. And Nelson's going to roll just for biscuits. 3. And it's another 0, another par. You see how this is, once you grasp it and just, the mechanism, and it's more than theory, it just, it'll roll. All right, let me see. Third hole is another par 4. I'm hoping it drops down close enough to where maybe I can get a birdie, but we'll see. All right. D10. Roll is a 3. Look at there. Now, you see what just happened? 3. Now, I got to roll underneath the 3. If I roll exactly the same, this gives me a chance because the only time I can roll exactly the same is if the whole dice rolls inside of my range as a golfer. but I do have a chance of going over it, which would put me in bogey. So at most on this, if I roll a 4, I could get a bogey +1. If I roll a 3, I'll get an eagle. If I roll a 2, I'll get a birdie. 2 or 1. So let's see what Nelson Krankovic rolls. Place this. Boom, a 3. Look at that. 3. That is the grand old +2 eagle. Excelente. All right. Oh, excuse me. I got that backwards. +2. God, if that isn't wrapping my head around gridiron right now. But anyway, all right. 2 strokes down. Nelson's doing pretty good. 2 pars and an eagle, for God's sake. An eagle on a par 4. Gee whiz. Okay. Yeah. Hit it on at 3 and 3. It's fantastic. 4. And that's the only time that with the math and everything, you have to be the exact number to be able to hit an eagle. All right, and this right here is going to be 4th hole. Look at another par 4. So I'm going to roll a D10, and it is a 10. Now, I mean, I know I'm already going to get a par on this, right? So it's a wash. I've been rolling, like for this, I don't really need to roll Nelson Krankovic because I know at most he's going to get a 4. But, I mean, as far as the tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and do it. All right, the tutorial aspect. And he gets a 2. All right. And that's 0. It's par. 5th. Fifth hole is a D12. Look at that. D12. Roll 4. Oh my Lord. Oh my land. This is excellent. This is excellent. So I know I'm going to get, like, if I hit a 4, Nelson hits a 4, he's going to get an eagle on his hole, or he's going to birdie it. Okay. Four. Okay, so we had 4. Nelson Krankovic is going to roll a D12, I think. No, it's 5th hole is D12, yeah. Oh, no, I already rolled that. It's for Nelson. And we're going to roll. Bam, 3. Okay, 3 is under. Gets a birdie for that. Rolls a 3, which equals -1. So he's 3 strokes under so far. 6th. Really good, really rare. Hole 5. Okay, 5th hole is, 6th hole, rather, is a D10. Seven. All right, roll against the 7. Bring up Nelson's die here and roll it. 3. of course, it's par. It's so funny though, because I mean, we haven't rolled over yet, which is great. No bogeys, but he's either stayed up above my ability to get close into him. Well, this is on the 6th hole. Is can't believe we got that. Yeah, bogey on the 5th. 6 holes a D10, so it's a par 4, right? So we would have to have a difference of less than 4 before we make any kind of a birdie. Oh, 7th. Hole. We will roll. 7th is a D8. Roll. Ooh, a 1. Oh, this is not good. But it does happen. All right. Let's see what Nelson can do. He's probably going to bogey something if he don't eagle it. That's the only 2 options that's going to happen here. But I think this course has his number. But look, he's a green king, so he's got a light touch. This is why I made it that way, because he's only got four numbers, so he's got a 25% chance of hitting this eagle and still saving his butt, right? So that's why. All right, let's see what Nelson does here. 3. Nope. Okay, now what we just saw here, Nelson rolled a 3. The hole is a 1. You know what that means? That means he's got a plus, because he's 3 times over what the hole is. Something went drastically wrong here. And if we remember up here, when a bogey occurs, the number on the die will give the reasons why. So this is the number on the dice. The die will give a reason why, not the difference, but we have a 1 and a 3. So this point is like a water hazard in a tree line. He went in the water, lost a stroke, and went to the tree line and had trouble getting out. So he ended up triple bogeying that hole, which basically he's at par right now. And we're going into the 8th. Let's see what he can do. All right, the 8th hole is back down here. The course is 8th. It's a D10. Roll this D10, and it's another 10. Now he's going to get a par for this. Okay. Now I've just been rolling because I roll with it. Nothing Krankovic. Rolls a 4 just for posterity's sake. The difference between it is obviously 6, so he has no, he's not going to drop, below a par 4. He's not going to drop lower than a 4 when there's a difference of 6. So he's making a par. All right, now we're going to the 9th. This is the end of the front half. This is where we'll stop here after this is played. All right, hole. Now this is the last hole. It's a D12. All right, so it's less of a chance for him to get bogeys and whatnot on this situation. I almost rolled a D20. Wouldn't that have been funny? Hold on. All right, we roll it. All right, let's invert it just for funsies. All right, see what Nelson rolls. Oh, he rolls a 1. All right, we'll have to remember that. I'm gonna blank this out. Nelson Krankovic, 1. equals, and then we're going to back up and see what this par 5 rolls. 3. Look at that crap. Look at that crap. 3. Okay. That'd have been more climactic if I'd switched them around. So Nelson does get under par, and he does get under. So it's a par 5, and the difference between the two is a 2. So he gets his bogey. I mean his birdie. It's -1. So on these 9 holes, we can count them up here real quick here. Oh, a calculator. Hold on real quick. All right, we got 8, 7, 3. That's 10, 18. That's 20, 28. Excuse me. Good grief! I'm counting the holes rolled. This is 36 strokes for this section. And Nelson Krankovic ended up being 35 for the day. All right, well, that is Go Golf, and maybe it's a little bit more theory and whatnot to wrap your head around, but it's fairly mathematically, it holds. You know, we saw actually right here 3 and 3. That's a rarity, especially when your par dice range from 8, 10, and 12. Right, so they stay mostly in the upper areas. So with these professional golfers, they'll get, you know, there's some times that they get a bogey, you know, less, and they get pars for the most part. But whenever that dice gets low enough, that gives the golfer, if he gets high enough or to meet it in the middle and have that margin be a little bit narrower and narrow enough to where it's smaller than the course, the par for the course is, I mean, the par for that hole is, then that's when he gets the birdie. And if he gets the exact same, that's when he gets the eagle. So there's less of a chance of that happening, you know, for the D12, D10, D8 to drop down into that area where you can actually make, you know, especially with it's like for that is especially a little bit harder for a Green King guy to do that, but he's got such a light touch that he has less danger. He's more conservative. Where if you're playing with a power, you know, if he was rolling a D6, he's got more of a chance of meeting the upper die, the upper, you know, the 12, 10, and 8 of the courses, meeting in the middle and kissing that, you know, making the margin difference. But he also, you know, on the flip side, has more of a chance of going over the whole die if the whole die rolls under him, and he could go bogey. So it's a little bit more, it's more liberal play. You know, he's more aggressive, you could say. So it's a light touch and then an aggressive touch. But that is why the the game is set up that way. But anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. And we'll see you out on the course. Take care.